God gives us the power of desire. It inhabits our hearts as our mutual will, us and God together. His will, the will is the intent from which springs all the issues of life. Picking up from last time, we're going to talk about the word deny, and as we see it in the 16th chapter of Matthew, and it says in verse 23, this is me expanding on what Jesus, the concept of what Jesus is trying to get across to people, and which is lost in a lot of Bibles. 16:23, be mindful of the things of God, not of the things of man in the world system. This is right after Jesus talked to Peter, and he said, get behind me, and told Peter that you're not mindful of the things of God, you're mindful of the things of man. So it continues, and this is another expansion on this word. It's explaining it, what it really means. Matthew 16:24. Take up a cross of challenging discipline to become strong and directed by following me. Take up a cross. It's a challenging discipline when we take up the cross, following Christ. But it's a challenging discipline, but a discipline, those who discipline themselves know the beauty of the results that they get from doing that. So in Matthew 16:25, for whoever desires to save his old way of living, the old depreciating, unbeneficial way of living, will lose it. And whoever lets the old way of living die for my sake, for Jesus' sake, will gain true, unending life. It's a true life. We think that life in the flesh is life, but we haven't experienced it until we come into the Spirit. The word deny actually means to disown that which we held us in bondage, keeping us from the Spirit's overcoming power, which aids in us possessing all the promises of God. So we're not denying who God made us to be. We're denying that old way that we have lived according to the world system, according to the enemy's teaching, according to misdirection. And we're learning to disown that and to own what God has made available to us because we are his purchased possession. So we're to disown that which held us in bondage, keeping us from the spirits, the power of the spirits, overcoming power, the spirit life in Christ Jesus, which aids us in possessing all the promises of the Lord. And it continues in Matthew 16:27. And the Son of Man will come in all his glory, in the glory of the Father and his angels, and then he will reward each person according to his works. Most assuredly, well, this is a twist here a bit in 16:28. Most assuredly, there are some standing here who will not taste death until they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Well, Peter and all the other apostles, except for the ones that separated, they experienced death. They tasted death really well. And we who are in Christ taste death daily. We who are in Christ taste death daily. We have crucified our sinful nature with him. We are new creations in Christ. We are a part of the first fruits of Christ. We are among those who return with him. Okay, so continuing this concept, when he was saying that some of you will taste death, not taste death until they see the Son of Man coming. You don't want to be there. You want to taste death, get it over with now, enter into the kingdom now. So those who do not taste death until they see him returning are the less fortunate ones who receive their judgment at that time. We, the fortunate ones, we judge ourselves. We're among the first fruits. We prosper in all the satisfaction of unity with him in order to receive the reward of all the promises of God here and now. We don't have to wait for him to return, because he's coming back in all his glory in a flame of fire, in lightning, in the clouds. It's going to be a terrific, horrible time for those who are on the receiving end of it, for those of us who will be raised with him and come back with him and establish our home in this earth, our new home, the way Christ designed it to be. It's going to be a glorious time. So let's be among those who enter into that glory now. Let's go through this. Let's get through this tribulation. The tribulation is now. The great tribulation is now. This is hell on earth. We have to go through it to get to the other side, the joy that's set before us. So until next time we're going to expand a little bit on that. Come up here, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. We'll look at that next time. Until then, see ya.